Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll be talking about the cornea. We'll concentrate on the location, dimensions, layers, functions, and more. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Let's see what the cornea is all about. The cornea is the outermost layer of the eye and is responsible for the majority of the eye's focusing power. It is a transparent tissue that is about 0.52 millimeters thick at the center. At the periphery is 1 millimeters, which makes it the thinnest part of the eye. Wow. For the whole eyeball, that means the cornea is the thinnest part of it all. So from this image, we can see that this is the cornea, where it starts and where it stops. The cornea, it covers the pupil and iris. It ends at the limbus and continues as sclera. Its curvature helps to refract light, allowing us to see objects clearly. From our subsequent image, we will know where the sclera, the limbus, the pupils, and the iris are, and we will see how the cornea covers both pupil and iris. So in this diagram, we'll see how the cornea covers the iris and the pupil. As you can see, the transparent cornea covers the iris. The iris are those brown lines. The pupil is this black circle. Then this is where the cornea ends at the limbus and where the sclera begins at the limbus. So these are the connections. From the diagram on the right, we can see that the cornea is transparent. It is an avascular structure. That means it does not contain blood vessels. It forms 1/6 of the outer fibrous cut of the eyeball. From this image, we can see where the cornea is located, the limbus, the pupil, the iris, and the sclera. Again, let's go ahead and talk about the dimensions of the cornea. Its anterior vertical diameter is 11 millimeters. Its anterior horizontal diameter is 12 millimeters. Its posterior diameter is 11.5 millimeters. The refractive index of the cornea is 1.33. The refractive power of the cornea is 45 diopters. Let's go ahead and see the diagram of the cornea according to its layers. Okay, here is the diagram of the cornea above. It has the epithelium, the Bowman's layer, the stroma, Descemet membrane, and the endothelium. The cornea has 5 distinct layers, which we will discuss in details. The epithelium layer. From the top right hand, the first layer is the epithelium. The epithelium is the outermost layer of the cornea and is made up of several layers of cells. That means it's not just a single layer of cells, but it's made up of several layers of cells. As we continue, we'll go ahead to know what type of cells does the epithelium. The epithelium consists of, could it be columnar? Could it be stratified? Could it be squamous? Let's see. The cells are responsible for protecting the cornea from the external environment, such as dust, bacteria, and foreign objects. That means the cells of the epithelium layer of the cornea. So let's continue. These cells are called stratified, squamous, epithelium. The corneal epithelium replaces itself once a week. Wow. With or without injury, it replaces itself. The epithelium also plays a crucial role in maintaining the health of the cornea. Just for the fact that it replaces itself weekly is enough maintenance. That means the epithelium must be very important to the eye and the cornea in particular. Let's go ahead and see the next layer. The next layer is the Bowman's layer. It is the second layer of the cornea. The Bowman's layer, it lies beneath the epithelium and is a thin acellular layer of collagen fibers. It provides support and strength to the cornea. A layer providing a support and strength to the cornea. Let's see. The Bowman's membrane, once destroyed, does not regenerate. Unlike the epithelium layer, which regenerates every week with or without being destroyed, the Bowman's layer does not regenerate once it is destroyed. Take note. The next layer is no other layer but the stroma. It looks like the stroma has the largest portion among the layers of the cornea. Let's see. The stroma is the thickest layer of the cornea and is made up of collagen fibers and water. Wow. No wonder it has the largest portion in the cornea. Let's see more. Stroma is responsible for the transparency of the cornea and helps to refract light. So if we can remember in our previous discussion, we talked about the cornea helping out in refraction, and we talked about its refractive index and its refractive power. So you see why the cornea helps out in refraction? Let's see how come the stroma is responsible for the transparency of the cornea. The arrangement of collagen fibers in the stroma is highly organized, which contributes to the clarity of the cornea. Wow, no wonder they say the stroma contributes to the transparency of the cornea. Now we know. Now let's go to the next layer of the cornea. It's called the Descemet membrane. The Descemet membrane is a thin layer of collagen fibers that separates the stroma from the endothelium. It separates the third layer from the fifth layer. The third layer being the stroma and the fifth layer being the endothelium. Let's see what else the Descemet membrane does. The Descemet membrane layer provides structural support to the cornea. As thin as it is, it provides structural support. Wow, what a layer. The Descemet membrane regenerates if destroyed. Its prominent peripheral forms the Schweppes line. Wow. Unlike any other layer, with the exception of the epithelium, we now have it that the Descemet membrane also regenerates if destroyed. Its prominent peripheral forms the Schweppes line. Let's go to the last layer of the cornea, called the endothelium. The endothelium is the innermost layer of the cornea and is made up of a single layer of cells. The endothelium regulates the amount of fluid in the cornea, which is essential for maintaining its transparency. The endothelium also plays a critical role in pumping out excess fluid from the cornea, reminding you that the endothelium is the innermost layer and the last layer of the cornea. We are now going to discuss the functions of the cornea. The functions of the cornea. The cornea has several functions which we will discuss in details. The first one is refraction. The curvature of the cornea helps to refract light, which is essential for clear vision. Remember, in our previous discussion, we talked about the refractive index, refractive power of the cornea. The cornea accounts for about 2/3 of the eye's refractive power. No wonder it's carrying 45 diopters as its refractive power. Protection is another function of the cornea. The epithelium of the cornea provides protection against foreign objects and bacteria with the help of the tears. Sensation is another very important function of the cornea. The cornea is highly sensitive and contains a large number of nerve endings. This sensitivity helps to protect the eye from harmful stimuli. Whenever something wants to drop in your eye, you notice that you quickly close your eyes. It's involuntarily. It's involuntary. You don't do it intentionally. So the next important function of the cornea is transparency. Transparency. The highly organized arrangement of the collagen fibers in the stroma of the cornea contributes to its transparency. The tears also helps to keep the eye clean. The next function of the cornea is the fact that we can differentiate a dilated pupil from an undilated pupil through the transparent cornea. The cornea also helps in differentiating a dilated pupil with a normal pupil by shining a light on the cornea while observing the pupil's response. If the pupil constricts or gets smaller in response to light, it indicates that the pupillary reflex is intact, and the dilated pupil may be due to an ocular or systemic condition. As we can see from the image on the right, one of the eye has a constricted pupil while the other eye on the left has a dilated pupil. If the pupil does not respond or only responds slightly, it may suggest a neurological condition. We do hope you enjoyed our today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe, press the notification button and like it. Thank you.